everyone! Welcome back to another episode of the Seattle Stitcher. My name is Megan. You can find me on Instagram as Megan_Babauta_ on Ravelry as MamamadeVM, and you can also reach out to me via email at theseattlestitcher@gmail.com. As I say, you are all very welcome here, and I'm just gonna hop right in. So last Thursday was Thanksgiving, so I had filmed a little bit early, and so I do have a couple of extra days of stitching, but I got a cold in between here and the last video, and so I don't feel like I have a lot of stitching, but hey, I'm gonna show you what I got, okay? So I had a start. This was my planned start. It was Bridget from the Museum Stitcher and Alexis from Alexis_My Amazing World. We all decided to pick up this book, Home for the Holidays. Bridget already had hers, and she was like, must stitch this pattern, and we were like, yes. So we are all stitching Christmas Garden, which is a beautiful piece. I'm trying to get it without a glare. There we go. I just love everything about this. The colors have changed a bit since this original piece was stitched. This cover stitch here was stitched in 2011. So this is what the colors looked like in 2011. They have changed a bit over time though. They are overdyes, and now they are much more muted palette. And let me show you the flosses. The flosses look like this. I just have them in a baggie. You guys, you know the drill. I like my baggies. But here they are. So they are much, much more muted these days. I think that the red shade, which is this one here, it doesn't even really look red anymore. It's more of a pink. The two golds just are very, very muted. The green's very muted. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? But it's not what I was expecting, I guess, is what I would say. Last episode, I talked to you guys about fabric choice and that I wasn't sure what I was going to pick. So I had my 40 count Atomic Ranch Weathered Stone, and I had my 32 count Cream and Sugar by Fiber on a Whim. And Friday when I went to sit down and actually start stitching, that was the first day I wasn't really feeling the best. So I was like, do I really want to stitch on a 40 count? And honestly, I was worried that with the modeling of that fabric, that these colors wouldn't pop like to the maximum effect. So although this was not the winner, I did end up going with the 32 count Cream and Sugar. And I'm happy with this choice because the colors, they pop more on this more creamy white base than they did on my other option. I'm stitching this one 1/2, and I did iron the fabric before I started stitching on it. It's not looking too ironed anymore, okay? But I ironed it and cut it down. So I finally cut down a piece for once, and here is my progress. So I am really happy with this. I'm almost to a page finish. So I'm really surprised I was able to get that much done. I worked on this for like a good 5-6 days. And I have a few more of these, like, see how there's like smaller stitches? I have a few more of those to add in this area over here. And then I just have this half of the pot, and that's the whole page. So I'm super happy with that. I had the other flowers stitched up here, as well as like the buds of the flowers down here stitched. This was like after I didn't even stitch for an entire day, and so I was not feeling well. I had stitched those other flowers, right? I miscounted somewhere, and so I had to rip them all out. And that's when I was like, okay, you're getting put away because I'm just not feeling well. And I haven't touched it since, but I'm still in love with it. I'm still happy with the choice. I like the fabric. I'm glad to not be wasting fabric either, because I noticed that one of the things I do, I have like I don't know if it's like I'm just scared to commit to the fabric that I had in my past projects, because I can buy like a huge cut of fabric and I can have like, you know, a regular 200 something by 200 something sampler to stitch up on it, and I'll keep the entire piece of fabric in there, even though I could cut off probably half of it and use it for another project. So I really should sit down, take all my whips out and cut off that extra fabric, because I would have so much extra that I could put in my stash and use for other kits. But I'm ornery, what can I say? So I am really happy with this. It's just so pretty. And I like the fabric. I need to serge the edges. I just use my sewing machine and use one of the specialty stitches on it and sew along the edges so it kind of catches them, but it's not really a serging machine. It just kind of works the same way. So that's what I do. But I'm happy with the project. Again, you can buy this book, Home for the Holidays, off of 123 Stitches website, and it is still in stock. I used Holosan Creates, which is an Etsy shop, for my fabric as well as my flosses. I love their shop. She has a Flosstube as well. I'll link her below. She's amazing. The next project is actually another start. So I don't know, I just had a case of like startitis. I wanted to start everything that was Christmassy. Since this is my first year cross stitching, I realized that like I'm definitely a seasonal stitcher, okay? Because the second it hit like below 40, I like dropped everything else so fast to start some Christmas stuff, let me tell you. So this project, I did make quite a few changes. This is Stacy Nash Primitives Christmas at Hollyberry Farm. I'll put in a picture of this picture because it's so hard to see with the glare. I have to use artificial light because even though it's not even 5 o'clock yet, it is like dark outside. So bear with me, okay? So I'll pop in a picture of the cover photo here. The changes I made to this one are, I really went the opposite direction with the fabric. I decided to go with the 36 count Gray Magic by Bestitch Me. I'm stitching it 1/2, and there are 2 lines on this, which are barely visible, that are the ABCs as well as some numbers. I went ahead and took those out. She also gives you kind of a blurb in the pattern pamphlet that says that the original color that she used to stitch the roof has changed a lot, and that now if she were stitching it, she would use Carriage Black. So I went ahead and I picked up a Carriage Black, which replaced the original walnut color that was the roof line of the house. And then the red for Mulberry, I went ahead and just picked up this Weeks Dye Works, or is it a Weeks? Yeah, Weeks Dye Works Cayenne, because it was very Christmassy to me. I don't know, I just liked it. I love the variegation to it. And I decided to take out those ABCs completely, like I said, or did I mention that? Sorry, I forgot already. And let me get the tag out of the way. And here is my start. So I'm really happy with my start on this one. Like I said, I took out those ABCs, so the Merry Christmas is much higher up. What I did is I completely just eliminated the rows, and I counted down the same amount of stitches that would have been there if I did actually do the ABCs. So it's still kind of falling in line with the original look of the border versus the wording in the letters, but just says the Merry Christmas. I got Merry Christ on here so far. Started the roof line. I have one of the little nooks of a window started and one of the chimneys. But yeah, I'm really liking this. This is probably, to be honest, one of my favorite color choices for fabrics that I've ever made. I'm gonna say it, this one and my Come to the Garden by Teresa Kogut are my favorite choices I've ever made with fabric so far. I just think it's the first time I ever went out on a limb with my color choice when it came to fabric. Usually I try to stick to the close to the called for, but the called for this piece was, I think, 35 count R&R Reproductions mink, and I could not find that anywhere. So I ended up ordering Weeks Dye Works Kazoo, which is like kind of like a Christmassy green. And then when I got it and I compared it to the colors, these 2 greens, they just blended right in. So then I was like, okay, well, I'll get murky. So I had a piece of 36 count murky. Again, it looked good, but my piece of murky, it's not really like blue toned or cool toned. It's very green, which makes sense, murky. You know, should have put 2 + 2 = 4, Megan, duh, you know, but for some reason, every time I saw it on Flosstube, it looked really like bluish hued to me. I don't know. And so that didn't work out quite as well as I was hoping. And I had gotten this piece, I think last month for my fabric of the month, and it was perfect. I think all the colors show up really well. The only one that doesn't pop like a major crazy amount is this one, which is Lexington green, but even that in person shows up well enough for me to be happy. So yeah, it's definitely one of my favorites. That went through a huge change in fabric, but very happy with that. And the only other project I worked on in the past couple weeks, this one's in a me-made bag. I made this one a few weeks ago. And it just has like the Christmas ribbon candies on the inside. This is my Spirit of Christmas by Lavender and Lace. I might have to put a picture up of this guy as well, just because of the glare. But I love this piece. There's something about the shading that's just, oh, it's so amazing. I think it just blows me away how good the shading is for this piece. So I had to get him, and I am using all the Call for DMCs. I'm just putting them on these little floss drops as I use them. So every time I have to get out a new color, I'll put it on the floss drop. But as you can see so far, I've only dabbled into the greens, the reds, and the white. And I think I have a picture of where I was last, so I'll pop a picture up here. I'm stitching this one 2/2 on 28 count wheat lugana. I went back and watched one of my old videos so that I could finally see what the heck this fabric was. And it took me a while to find it, but I did. And it is indeed 28 count wheat lugana. And here is my progress. So last time, as you guys saw, I had this bow and the greenery around here done. Oh, I have a random piece of floss there. So I went ahead and I started his hat. So I got a little bit of the white part of the hat and then a lot of the shading here. It just looks amazing. This is the one that I stitched on most recently. So it's still in the Q-snap, and this is just an 11 by 11 Q-snap, and this is a Mad for Minders needle minder. I think that both of my other pieces, I didn't have needle minders on. I've been using the little cap needle minder that Alexis had made and sent over to me, and I just keep it on my stand next to my cross-stitching station with a couple of needles in it. So yeah, I'm really liking this one. It's super enjoyable. It's just so pretty, and something about the shading I just think is so good. I've never stitched up a pattern that had this much kind of shading, and it's amazing. I just love it. So yeah, that piece I'm really loving. And that is actually all that I've worked on in the past couple weeks. I do have a little bit of acquisitions. First, I purchased a couple of PDF patterns. So Julie of Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World, she published a new pattern. I think it's called the Rooster Sampler. I'll go ahead and pop a picture here. I went ahead and purchased that one. I love it. I'm gonna stitch mine, I think in like, kind of like bone china, the like very bright cobalt blue and some kind of creamy white, but I just need to find the perfect fabric because I'm not really sure. I don't want to put it on black because the blue will blend too much with black, and I don't want to put it on white. So I was thinking maybe something like yellow, but not yellow, like kind of just creamy colored. I don't know. It'll be a tricky one. You guys might have to help me. If you have any recommendations, yeah, I don't know. I have a couple of pieces that are kind of gray in stash. Maybe I'll look at some of those. Maybe some kind of gray color. So if you guys have any recommendations, like I said, let me know. The other thing that I purchased was, she is actually having a stitch along. Julie is having a salve that's going to be starting January 1st. And it is Beatrix Potter. She had actually gotten to see this pattern in person, and I'll pop a picture up of the pattern here. This is still available through Stitchy Box, so you can order a PDF or a printed copy. It's 20 bucks for either one, which I think is a pretty good deal, and it's a large pattern. The original is stitched on like a very, very fine count fabric, like a 56 count or something, or a 46 count, something crazy like that. And so I think I'm gonna try to do this one on a 40 count. Either a 40 or a 36, but it'll be huge if I do it on a 36. So I don't know. Oh, tricky. I don't know. I'll have to decide. I saw how many pages it was and I was like, whoa. So we'll see. But that is my January 1st, my New Year's stitch, and I'll be joining it in. I also ordered a piece or a hank of almond M&M's gingerbread, which is a silk floss in a 50-gram hank. So I ordered that, and hopefully that gets to me before January. I don't know, I had a problem with processing my payment through PayPal. It kept on giving me an error screen, so I like re-entered it, and then I ended up paying like double on accident because I'm an idiot. So I'm trying to see by emailing her if I actually like placed the order, because it did pull from my account, so I paid for it, but like I never got a confirmation screen. Well, I paid for the hank twice, but we'll see. I don't know. I'm still waiting for a response. And I'll see what happens. But hopefully I can get a hank of it in the gingerbread color, because that's a nice, like, I'll put a picture here. It's a nice, yeah, it's just a nice brown. And that's actually the color that originally, like, it's a brownish, brassy color that it was originally stitched in. And so I kind of wanted to keep with that theme. Outside of that, I also picked up, or no, I didn't pick up, I got my fabric of the month. So I got my Bestitch Me 36 count fabric of the month. This is the shade Portobello, like the mushroom. You know, actually, maybe this will be a good color because it's pretty gray to do Julie's sampler on. It is a really pretty one. I like this color a lot. And I'm really liking being part of this fabric of the month. It's so good. Like, I don't know, it's so nice to have like a new piece of fabric to have in your stash because I everything I kitted up, I've purchased a piece of fabric for. So I have enough fabric in my stash to stitch every pattern that I own, right? But it's nice to have these extra options because kind of like with my Christmas at Hollyberry Farm, you know, I never would have thought to put the blue with it unless it got sent to me in my Bestitch Me fabric of the month. So I'm really enjoying this. The fabrics are amazing. The dye is amazing, the dye job on them. And I do the neutrals. I really like it. The only other thing I have is some happy mail. So Miss Melissa, she had asked me if I wanted to try out a floss. I don't remember the brand of it, but it looks like it has numbers just like DMC because this is a black floss and the numbers on it are 310 and it's very soft, like really, really soft. She sent me a couple of skeins of it so I could try it out, but that was just so nice of her to even think to send me, and she sent me a couple of stickers with it as well, which is cool because I do junk journaling, so I use the stickers in there. And it's really soft. I'm kind of thinking, because I have a lot of patterns that need black, so I'll probably just swap out for this black as I need it. But it is a very deep, dark black, and it's not too, it doesn't look shiny or anything like that. It's just nice. It's a nice floss. I'll let you guys know what I think after I use it. But yeah, thank you, Melissa. I really appreciate it. And that was so nice of you. But that is actually everything. Super short video this time around, which is probably for the best because knowing my daughter and husband, they'll be back pretty soon. Well, Daniel, he works out for a long time, but the kids club only allows you to have your kid in for like a certain amount of time. So yeah, it's always tricky. But that is everything. I got a little bit more knitting done on my sweater, and I did work a little bit on my half and half wrap, but not enough to show any progress, nothing exciting there. No real life updates. I got my hair touched up with my color, and then I had a trim, and I got some layers added in, but my hair's so dark you can't really tell any difference. So that was fun. It's always exciting to have a hair change. Not that I really changed anything, but I like to think it's something new, right? So that was fun. You know, Christmas time is coming around the corner and Santa's got a lot of work to do. Okay. That man's busy, let me tell ya. The advent calendar has been going great and it's been super fun for her every day. Thanksgiving was awesome. I do all the cooking for Thanksgiving, so I was super tired after. I just wanted to take a nap. But it was awesome. It was really fun. We did turkey. Well, I did a turkey and ham and all the sides and everything like that, and it was great. It's always fun to just, you know, be around family and enjoy this time of year. So that's everything. I don't think I have any other updates. Yeah, that's everything. Well, thank you so much, guys, for watching. I know that this was a super short one. Hopefully I get, fingers crossed, I get more stitching time in the next couple weeks. I don't know, for some reason, I feel like I've been limited on stitching time, but we'll see what happens. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend, and stay safe out there. Well, bye. Thanks.